Jenna, is there a magic formula or a template that we should be using to create our business plans?
There's so many tools out there that we're going to come on to, but I think for me, there's 4 key things that I say that everyone who starts a business plan or starting a business needs to make sure they're covering these 4 things as well. So it needs to be concise, and that's not to say to miss out key information, get the key information in there, but not to include the waffle and the unnecessary jargon. It needs to be quite clear and concise, so someone reads it and says, yes, I get it. The other thing that I always say, so another one of the C's that I say, is that it needs to be current. So you need to update it. So yes, you might, 10 years ago, a business owner that started their business has this original plan, but over the course of that 10 years, it needs to have been updated as well. So it needs to make sure that you're given a current version of your business plan, depending on who you're writing it to and for as well. The other C is that it needs to be compelling. This is a really key one for me because it might be a really boring idea for someone, but for that person, it's a really interesting idea. But if you're not coming across as this compelling and it's quite attractive and the person reading it is excited by it as well, it's going to make it really difficult for them to really engage with that idea and that business plan. And then finally, it needs to be convincing. So it's kind of ticks the realistic box. So if you can't prove that this is achievable and this is doable, and I'm all about being ambitious and stretching yourself and everything like that, but it does need to be convincing that actually this is my plan and it's realistic, it can happen. So the starting point for me in terms of a magic formula, it differs for everyone because everyone's so different, but if you can hit those 4 C's, that's a really good starting point as a checklist to make sure your plan's on track.
And you touched on a moment ago, coming back and making sure it's current. So this isn't just something we should be doing as first timers when we're building a business plan, it's something that we should be doing on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. So whether you're just starting out with your first business idea, that's just as crucial as when you are well into a business and you're coming back to it. And a lot of people start without a plan. And there's the quote that says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you don't have a plan, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure and your success rate's dipping a little bit lower because you haven't got this structure and this sort of guide to help you out as well.
I mean, I think that's a really good point because I think there's terrific pressure, particularly if you read a lot that's written these days on planning and launching businesses. Well, less about planning and more about launching. Yeah. There's a terrific pressure to just get out there and prove that it works and sell and get money. And I think we, as founders of businesses and business owners, we heap that pressure on ourselves as well. I need to get the money in, right? But not putting in place something like this very critical foundation means that you could be out there selling, but you might not be selling in 2 weeks' time or 2 months' time or even 2 years' time if you haven't covered all the bases with that plan.
Yeah, and I think not focusing on the quick wins is key to that as well. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in that, especially if maybe you've had an unexpected sale or things are going better than you thought they would at this early stage, and it's so easy to get ahead of yourself. But then eventually you will get to the point of, oh, hold on a minute, where do I go now? Where, the sales have stopped. What's my plan? And actually, that's where the planning helps for the long term. It's not just short-term gains. It's your long-term plan and your long-term goals. So it is a crucial element to do right at the beginning, as well as throughout your journey with your business.
That makes a lot of sense.